Hey y'all, welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. Today the main thing I wanted to talk to you about was our Christmas tradition of having Christmas jammies. So every year growing up, my parents would get us a pair of Christmas themed pajamas. And even through our teenage years, these pajamas were usually the onesies with the feet on it. So we called them footy pajamas. And so our tradition was always to wear those on Christmas Eve, and then we'd come down in our Christmas jammies on Christmas morning. And I don't know, I guess it made for good pictures. I guess it made us kind of get more into the mood of the Christmas feeling, and we would do, other things Christmassy for traditions. Um, but these jammies were really memorable because they were the footy pajamas. They weren't terribly comfortable. I always found them very hot to sleep in, even though where I grew up, it was cold for the most part, very cold in December. I grew up in rural northern Illinois, which is a little bit of, it's a little bit redundant to say that. Most of Illinois is rural. And for those folks who don't know where Illinois is, it's in the middle of the country, and if you know where Chicago is, you know where Illinois is because Chicago's in Illinois. And I'm not saying that to make anyone feel stupid or uninformed. I'm saying this out of habit because when I would travel while I lived in Illinois to other states, people, that were not in the Midwest, people would say, "Oh, where are you from?" And we would say Illinois and just get completely blank looks. Um, So if you live on the edges of the continental United States, and I'm sure Alaska and Hawaii too, and I guess you're not a geography buff, most people do not know where the state of Illinois is. Some people don't even know that it's a state. Uh, so yeah, but most people know vaguely where Chicago is. So you would have to say, "Oh, you know where Chicago is? Yeah, that's in the state of Illinois." We actually lived about um, an hour and a half west of Chicago. But yeah, it was the middle of nowhere. The town we lived in had less than 3,000 people living there. Um, so, like most of the state, it was very rural area growing up. Our neighborhood was surrounded by cornfields, but we did have some nice big trees in our neighborhood, so that was lovely. Um, Anyhow, I'm getting off topic. Um, but so we had these pajamas, and even though it was really cold, outside, it was just not comfortable to sleep in. Or I would get so hot. Oops, sorry, I hit my mic. I would get so hot and sweaty that, I was just uncomfortable, but I wasn't really sleeping anyway because I was excited for Christmas when I was really young. Um, but yeah, I guess the makers of these pajamas decided to make the bottom of the feet of these pajamas as slippery as possible because it was the 90s. It was the 80s and 90s. And I feel like safety wasn't much of a thing back then. So my sister and I would be going down the stairs and we would be going so carefully because we learned from past experience that you would just bite it going down the stairs in these things because it was literally slippery plastic on the bottom of the feet of the pajamas. They didn't have any grippies like they have today. So we would be death grip on the railing on one side and like going down the stairs sideways with our feet sideways essentially, and we'd still bite it. And it's just one of those things where you hold on to the rail as much as you can. You slide down a few steps and then you slam into the wall because you're holding onto the railing and you've slingshotted yourself into the wall essentially. Uh, Good memories, good memories. But we always did that for Christmas, and now I have these fond memories of, falling down the stairs and being hot in these jammies, which I'm saying that, those things, as if they're negative, and, like, yeah, I didn't wanna fall down the stairs, but, like, I remember them, don't I? They were special enough to where I remember them now, and, would like to continue the tradition with my kids. Um, so I got my kids Christmas jammies this year, so I'm gonna try to show you what those are in here, but this is for my son. It's just got a green collar and it has, struggling because I need to hold the camera. It has this cute reindeer on it. Get out of the way, Tag. It's got this cute reindeer on it, and they are footy pajamas, but let me show you this. this is what footy pajamas look like nowadays. I don't know if it's just because my son is small, maybe grown-up ones don't have these, but it's got the little grippies on them so that you don't, you know, bust your butt just trying to exist in them. Um, and then my daughter's Christmas jammies are two-piece, and they're not footy pajamas because she prefers not. But it's got these cute Santa Clauses on it, and then not the reindeer, the penguin with the cute reindeer antler headbands on them, and they're pink, and she loves pink. And the top is just the same pattern. Let's see if I can do this. So it's just more of the same pattern. It's just a normal long sleeve top. But these are pretty soft. I got both of these sets. They're both Carter's brand pajamas, but I got both of these sets at our local Kid to Kid. So Kid to Kid is a resale place. They're not sponsored or anything. They're just by our house, and this is where we get most of our kids' clothes. Occasionally, if Target's having a really good sale, we'll get some there. But got these for $4.99, and these look like they've maybe been worn a couple times. And the one I got for my daughter was, let's see, it was also $4.99. So you can see there. And these don't look like they've been worn at all. I can't even tell if these have been washed yet. They look brand new. So I don't know if someone was gifted those on Christmas and they're like, what are we going to do with these? Because Christmas is over, or they just didn't like them for some reason. I think they're super duper cute. And I will say that $4.99 is a little expensive for pajamas from there. Usually I can get them like $3.99 or so from there. So I was in this store like debating, oh, am I going to get these? Because these are a little bit pricey for, a resale or for their usual resale. And then I was looking up on like Target and on the Carter's website. And the Carter's website did have a good sale for Christmas jammies for $6. But then I'd also have to pay shipping for that. And the shipping would be, like an additional $5. So these were going to be the cheapest Christmas jammies I could find, and I think they're really cute. This is one way that my husband and I, try to save money but still give our kids the things that we would like them to have, and help make the holiday special. So just wanted to kind of put in that frugal living tip there too. And I feel like I've rambled on a lot, and I am actually parked and need to walk into work here soon. But I was driving into work today thinking about something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about and make this a little bit more vloggy since it's Vlogmas. My goodness, words are hard. So I might take you guys on a walk with me during my lunch break. We will see though. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey y'all. Brought you along with me on my lunch walk here, and my brain is still a little bit full of work stuff, but I did remember that I wanted to chat with y'all a little bit and kind of make these videos a little bit more vlog-like instead of just like all pre-planned stuff. But I woke up this morning and it was so cold feeling, and I got in my car and I was getting ready to take my kids to daycare, and I realized that the car temperature said that it was 33 degrees out, and then I felt kind of ashamed of myself for being such a wimp and feeling like it was so cold. I mean, I was dressed like I am now. I've got gloves, my hat, and a scarf and a heavy coat, and I'm wearing a sweater under this. I mean, I shouldn't be cold at all. And right now it is, I think, around 40. I mean, it might feel like it's in the 30s with the wind chill, but like younger me, when I lived in the Midwest, would be outside just tooling around in a hoodie, and a long sleeve shirt and some pants, and be absolutely fine. Maybe if I was feeling fancy, I'd put on a hat and some gloves. But usually I'd just pop up the hood of my sweatshirt and put my hands in the front pocket and call it a day and be perfectly comfortable. But those days are definitely gone. I think I have truly adjusted. And I don't know now if I need to turn in my Midwesterner card. I mean, I'm very wimpy when it comes to cold now. I just don't know. I will say I'm more heat hardy and humidity hardy than I was in the Midwest, so I guess that's the exchange there. But yeah, I mean, I wonder how long that actually took. I've been back in the South now for almost 20 years, but I lived in the Midwest for 16 years, 10 of those in Northern Illinois, like I was saying before in the car. And I mean, it got very cold there. It was snowy. A lot of the times the snow mostly didn't melt all the way down to the grass all winter just because it stayed cold. And I mean, the snow got gross. It got slushy and black and stuff on the roads, but in the fields and in the yard, it didn't get that gross, and it still looks lovely. But yeah, I remember one time school closing, and this was, I can't remember if it was middle school or I think it must have been middle school. But our superintendent, the person who decided when to close school, officially close our school or not, he was from Minnesota, so our school didn't close very often. We didn't have a lot of snow days unless it was unsafe to run the buses or if it was unsafe for kids to be outside. And this one week we had 2 or 3 days where it was super cold, and I'm talking 27 below zero Fahrenheit cold, I think is what it bottomed out at. And the wind chill was 75 below. So it was just literally unsafe for children to be waiting at bus stops, especially since sometimes we wait there for a while because we lived out in the country and the bus routes were a little bit longer. So you don't want kids out at 6:30, 7 in the morning waiting for a bus when the wind chill is 75 below zero. I mean, it's just, you just don't do that here. So yeah, we got off school for a few days, and it kind of stunk because you couldn't do anything. Like on other snow days, if it was like a blizzard snow day and you just couldn't see well enough to drive in it, so that's why you had off. You got to go and, you know, play outside with your friends and go sledding and build snowmen and then come in and have hot cocoa. But when it's that cold out, all you could do is like put in a VHS tape, and like maybe you sit down and you go through all 4 VHSs of Anne of Green Gables or Anne of Avonlea. I think that was a 4 cassette tape situation. Or, you know, my sister liked Star Wars, so we had the Star Wars trilogy. That was 6 VHS tapes that you had to go through to be able to watch that. But yeah, it just gets boring after a while having to stay in the house, especially for days at a time. So yeah, that hardiness is definitely gone. I don't think it's going to come back, so maybe I just have to accept it. But I really do hope that it stays cold enough for us to get snow this year. I will take the cold discomfort so that my children can truly experience what real snow is like. It's flurried here a couple of times since my daughter's been born. My timeline is before children and after children when it comes to like weather and snow and pretty much anything. But so my daughter has seen snow flurries twice, but it didn't stick at all. And since I bought my house, there was 1 year where we maybe got 5 to 6 inches, but there was like a huge layer of ice underneath it, and just everything shut down for a couple of days because we don't have the resources down here to clear that sort of thing. I think the major city I live near has maybe like 2 snow plows. So when they're clearing snow and ice from the roads, you maybe get lucky enough to see a snowplow, but for the most part, it's like front loaders and backhoes trying to clear the roads. And honestly, the first time I saw that, I thought it was freaking hilarious. But I mean, what else are they going to use, really, honestly? You know, some trucks have the snowplows, like pickup trucks have snowplows that they put on the front, and they use that too. But yeah, it doesn't make sense for southern cities really to invest in a huge snowplow fleet. I mean, it, you know, that's a waste of resources. You just don't need it for the most part. But anyhow, since this is Vlogmas, and I did want these videos to be a little bit more chatty instead of just all pre-planned, decided to come on and talk with you guys about the weather because it's the most super fascinating topic on this earth. And actually, I said that a little sarcastically, but I do think the weather is actually quite interesting. Especially after growing up in the Midwest with tornadoes and stuff. Anyhow, but since it was cold
maybe we will get super lucky this year and maybe we will have a white Christmas down here. I don't know. But if it snows, you bet that I'm going to find some time where I can go out and video a little bit and play in the snow. All right, well, I need to get back to work, and I've been awkwardly standing in this path because I'm getting closer to more populated areas that I don't want to film. But I hope you enjoyed our random chat about the cold weather and my hopes and dreams for snow days for myself and for my kids. So I will see you for Vlogmas tomorrow. Make sure you like this video and go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my other Vlogmas wonderfulness. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.